Hello, my aqua babies. This message and reading is for those of you who are still dealing with an ex. So let's see. Nine of Swords, Lord. Oh my goodness. A lot of worrying. A lot of sleepless nights. A lot of you are dealing with a fire sign or an air sign, okay? Not, don't get so hung up on the zodiac signs, though, or the elements. And you got the sun upside down, so you are feeling like this has left you in a very, very dark spot. You have been going through it mentally and emotionally. And you're wondering when and if. Some of you want to get back with your ex. Some of you don't even want to know their name. The ex right now is not even entertaining even the concept of going back, okay? They're sort of shutting that door altogether. So let's see what other messages pop up, all right? Let's do these first. What messages do you have for the collective regarding their ex? Let's move these. What messages do you have for the collective regarding their ex? What messages do you have for the collective regarding their ex, please? For some of you, I'm getting like a third-party situation. Of course, this is general, so this is not going to apply to everyone. Let's see. Separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, you're yearning and unsure of the future, okay? So a lot of you, again, are going through a separation. For some of you, they are missing you. That's for sure. But their ego is in the way, okay? Love calls. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking about you and letting you know. So for some of you, they may reach out, okay? But I have a feeling that they're reaching out because of, they're physically missing you, okay? Read between the lines. It's not because of emotional ties. So, as far as phone call, texting, reaching out via social media, you will hear from this person. Just be very careful because it's not, you're missing them. They're missing the physical aspect of, the relationship. A lot of you are going through some obstacles because you're entering a new phase and not everyone can come with you. So you are ascending and you are running into certain obstacles because you're shedding a lot of the old things that are in your life that no longer serve you. And this may include relationships, okay? What messages do you have for the collective regarding their ex? Take the top. The chaser. So some of you were there's a chaser twin flame aspect to the situation. There's always a chaser and a runner. So, you know yourself best. Were you chasing this person? Were they chasing you? Were you doing all of did you always feel like you were always putting the emotional aspects of the relationship on the forefront while they kind of like stood by the side. Again, for some of you, this could be a karmic relationship. Karmic relationships tend to be a little bit tough. These are relationships that teach us a lot of lessons, you know. Again, with the runner and chaser aspect, due to twin flame unions, this could be tough because a lot of times, you know, we do love our twin flame. We do love our karmic, but unless you are towards a cycle where you've learned all the lessons that you were supposed to learn from this union, it's very tough to get back into a union with this person. Some people repeat the cycles over and over throughout their lifetime, you know, learning some lessons and repeating some major mistakes. So it really depends on where you're falling right now. As far as a karmic relationship, you guys trigger each other. There's, you know, tons of lessons that need to be learned. And there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of fighting and arguing with karmics, okay? And so for some of you, you have to be very careful because this could be also, even though the reading is for an ex, for some of you, this could also mean that you are flirting around with the idea of taking an ex back and you're sort of in that talking phase again. You know, maybe you have not been with this person in a really long time. It feels great. You know, the phone calls are getting a little bit flirtier. But be very careful. You want to be in a space where you've grown and they've grown. If not, the same issues will happen again. Date. You're going to be meeting someone new or getting back out there. And again, this could be, you know, dating an old ex, okay? Someone resurfacing from the past. Make sure this is really what you want, you know? Dealing with an ex in one way could be great because you know their likes and dislikes, but at the same time, dealing with an ex brings a whole other bag of issues, because if those issues were never resolved, you're still going to be dealing with them, okay? You're still bringing them in the relationship, and nothing's going to move forward for you until you deal with the past. And again, you know, this is a general reading because there's so many different energies out there. So it's not going to, the same story is not going to apply to everyone. Let's see. Hand of Cards. Take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing your hand, gambling. So you really need to look at all the options before you settle on those of you who are thinking of going back with your ex, okay? Be very careful. Don't be so willing to give of yourself this time around, okay? Protect your heart, okay? Protect your heart, plain and simple. You need to look out for number one, and you're number one. If you're considering going back to an ex, I suggest that you are the one that should be driving this relationship going forward. Not to say that you're not going to take their likes and dislikes and their concerns into consideration. But if it was a situation where you were always letting the other person kind of like steer the wheel, they obviously took advantage. This time around, you have to be firm. You have to set boundaries. You have to be able to speak what you like and don't like, and you have to stand your ground a little bit firmer if you want to take this in a new direction. Okay? The Phoenix. So a lot of you are rekindling with an old flame. A lot of you are going to be changing your mind about rekindling with an old flame because you'd rather work on yourself and you'd rather grow on what, you'd rather grow as a person and figure out what you want, which is great. Being alone does not mean that you are lonely. It just means that you are figuring stuff out. All right? Mirror. So right now, some of you are reflecting on some old wounds and the relationship and how it ended, how it started, why it ended. Going within and being introspective is always healing because you get to see what you did, what they did. Just don't stay in this weird negative energy and don't blame yourself for everything, okay? It takes two. It takes two, plain and simple. All right, so let's see what other messages pop up from the Hidden Tarot. What messages do the spirit guides have for the collective regarding their ex? What messages do the spirit guides have regarding their ex? Oops. What messages? So they are attracted to you and you are attracted to them. That's not the issue, okay? Mutual attraction. I regret lying to you. So there's probably, a party that they went around lying. Although they were attracted to you, that never stopped them from lying, okay? You speak to me through music. So perhaps, they send you messages on Instagram or, social media, either through pictures and music, reels. So they are trying to, listen to the song. You may have a favorite song that you guys shared. Some of these people also may have insecurity issues. So, instead of dealing with, the emotional aspects of the relationship and dealing with their insecurities, they left you before you could leave them. What other messages do you have for the collective, please? So they know it was their fault, but they blame you because that's the easiest thing to do. They're not taking accountability. So this person, has a very immature energy. Doesn't matter how old they are, okay? It feels like they need a lot of growth in their life. They can't mentally handle probably a strong commitment and relationship. And not everyone can, and if you're the one that's always putting in the work, that could be super draining. That could be super exhausting. And, it is tiring if one person is the one that is always giving 100%. I can't stop thinking about you. So either you're thinking about them or they're thinking about you. You came closer to anyone else. So, this person may have had a pattern of keeping people within arm's length. And, a lot of times if you have that mentality where, you're toxic and, you're not taking accountability, you repeat that pattern with a lot of your relationships. And no matter how great you are, they will never, ever see it. And they will never, ever be respectful of you as a person, and take your heart and your feelings into, you know, account. They will just never see it, okay? I know that I crossed the line with you. So they know what they did. They know it was hurtful, but they still did it anyway. We both know I am not the one for you. Okay, so let's see if other messages pop up. So probably getting, you know, moving on from this person, you will hit a strike of abundance. They were probably affecting you with your money, and it was keeping you stuck. Because, you know, toxicity tends to kind of bind you in a way, and it affects other areas of your life. So, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, if you look at it, if you start looking at the relationship, if you are happy, if you are blossoming, if you are, you know, emotionally being taken care of, and if you're mentally in a very peaceful place, you tend to be also very productive and very abundant in other areas of your life. Okay. So if you believe, for some of you, this has to do with possibly getting back with your ex, okay? Some of you may, again, it's a general reading. So if you believe that you want to take, you know, take a step forward and see this, you know, grow, or, you know, possibly get back together with this other person, it may happen, okay? And this is just for some of you. This is not going to be for all of you. It just depends where you are as a person, and it depends where they are as well, and how the relationship ended. But again, just be forewarned, this person is emotionally immature, and unless things change within the dynamic of the relationship, it's not going to flourish, okay? It's not gonna, it's like wearing the same shirt over and over and expecting to look differently every day. It's just not gonna happen, okay? You're the one that's gonna, again, need to take control of the relationship, for those of you who are thinking of going back with your ex. So it's gonna, you know, that's a huge responsibility, you know, because everything's on you, all right? You need to look for a sign from your, you know, your spirit guides, you know, and ask them, is this person right for me? If your gut is telling you that this person is not right for you, that is your answer. Plain and simple, that is your answer. You know, when it comes to emotions, it's very hard to gauge because, you know, my grandmother used to say the heart is stupid. The heart is stupid at times, and the mind is fickle, meaning that, you know, sometimes no matter how smart you think you are, no matter how many signs you see in front of you, the heart wants what it wants, okay? And it tends to sometimes lead us down a very, very painful path, because sometimes we stay with people that we're not meant to stay with. So we need to pull ourselves together, all right, and love ourselves a little bit more than what we're giving to other people. So that way in the end, we don't get hurt, okay? And in the near future, my spirit guides are saying that for a lot of you, you will be out of this cycle, and you're going to come out of it a much better, stronger person, okay? And for a lot of you, this means new love, you know, a different type of mentality where it brings you different loves, different paths to walk on. But that is your reading, my friends, okay? If you liked what you saw, I will try to put out more general readings like this in the future. So please hit share and subscribe. Take care.